the newly finished division. By the way, the fixtures I will fix up probably tomorrow. So these are not the actual fixtures that will be going ahead.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. We're just looking at the
So,
teams, Johnny. We're just looking at the teams.
so you've got,
So
well,
yeah,
Matty Leo is Leeds Leopards. He's not changed his team. So, Matt, if you do look at this, change your bloody team and your
so
logo.
it's
And
Yeah.
obviously, you've got the Portsmouth Pirates. So, Leeds Leopards have got Lamar Jackson, Breece Hall, Aaron Jones, Malik Neighbours, DK Metcalf, George Pickens, Ben Sinnott, Jaden Reed, Kieran Coleman, Evan McPherson, Xavier McKinney, and Ivan Pace, is it? Ivan Pace?
I don't know what his
And,
first name is, but
and then you've got
good.
Portsmouth Pirates, you've got Josh Allen, Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, Chris Olave, Roma Ducey, Xavier Worthy, Dallas Goddard, Javonte Williams, Tony Pollard, Dickory Kicker, Kyle Hamilton, and Antoine Winfield, I think it is.
I was taking the rip out Anton Winfield when I seen that he was going. Last week I seen that he went very, very early in a couple of leagues. I'm like,
Yeah, he
what's
did.
he got? He's a defensive back. You surely want your linebackers for tackles. And then I went in and I looked at his points scored. And I thought, oh, I can see why they're all taking him because he's
Yeah.
scoring like 300 points
Yeah.
a season, So, yeah, a
He's a bit
very
of
good
a
pick
beast,
in the
like,
end.
because the
But
Bucks'
I like
defense is usually pretty good, like, so.
I like both these starting lineups. I've got to say,
That's gonna be a good game. That's gonna be a good game to see how that one plays
Yeah,
out.
they're good one.
and as I say, I do
And of
like.
course,
I mean, you've got Jackson. I love having Daniels on the bench. I don't. If you're picking up Daniels, he's not a starting quarterback week one for me. You want someone else. You want someone more. If you're picking Daniels and you think that, then you want to plug in a Goff. You want to plug in a Rodgers, a Cousins, someone to start the season off, someone who you know is going to score you points, and watch what Daniels is doing. And then when Daniels is picking up the points, you plug him in and you get rid of your old timer. But to stick him on your bench with Lamar Jackson on your starting lineup, I don't see the point in that. Because no matter how well Jaden Daniels starts to go, you're not going to drop him
the
for
thing is,
Jackson.
and they both have the same bye week. They
They
both
both
Oh
have the
bye
same
week
wow.
bye week,
14.
so yeah. So that
They
that
might
you, you
trade him.
lose that loses me a little bit in the sense of there's just no need, and it's kind of where you're picking Daniels up. You could have been having a good running back or a good wide receiver for your bench there. And I mean, if you look on the right hand side, May and Herbert on the bench. Well, time out. It's a
And Brooks
onesie
is not going to be
position. Why do
playing.
you need three players
Well,
when
you got
there's
Brooks who
also
won't be
some in
playing.
the free
Vidal,
agency?
Vidal third string, Charbonnet back up. He's got two Indianapolis wide receivers and Musgrove, so the bench isn't great in that one.
I'm not liking that bench.
He's got Cortland Sutton on
Don't
the
like the
left
other bench, I've got to say. I love Sutton, Palmer,
uh,
and Smith and Jigba on the bench. I
Yeah.
think that's quite strong.
and
Not so
Sanders.
sure
He will
about
get his targets as well.
the problem there, Steve,
Benson.
is Benson and Allen is your running back cover, and you could have had someone plugged in there instead of Jaden Daniels better than Allen and Benson as your running back cover. So yeah, I do like both these starting lineups, but I'm not a fan of either bench. So yeah,
Oh yeah, so you
not
had that
quite.
mad quarterback run. Remember that you traded out of in this because you didn't need one. So
Oh yeah,
oh,
that's right. So we did. I loved that run. That was great. Oh, is this my division? Is it?
yeah, because it's
So it
finished
is. Yeah,
now.
this is my
Whoa,
division. Oh, he's going to
yeah.
start
So
shouting at me. Don't start shouting at me. Just go on to the
there we
next
go.
one. Come on.
So we'll
Let's
go on
go.
to the Glenrothes Nazgul's because Martin's here enjoying and listening away. So we'll start off.
Um,
Obviously, the teams haven't been sorted, so we'll go Tua, Kieran Williams, Travis Etienne, T. Higgins, Rasheed Rice, Jordan Addison, Dalton Kincaid, Evan Ingram, Alvin Kamara, Jason Sanders, no IDP. And in Preston Panthers, you've got Jalen Hurts, Devon Achane, Austin Eckler, AJ Brown, DJ Moore, Tank Dell, Jake Ferguson, Dalton Schultz, Troy Franklin, Brandon Aubrey, Max Crosby, defensive end, and Roquan Smith.
Good D there, eh?
So
And what's
I'm
on the
guessing
bench?
because it
Field.
automatically picks a team, they won't have any defensive players. No, he's not.
Again, Fields is the other one. Fields is the other one for me, whereby if you're picking him up,
bench
that's
trade.
you stick him on your bench and you get a decent quarterback in first, because Fields could be a championship winner again if he comes in the back half of the season with the way he runs the ball, the way he uses his legs. And Pittsburgh Pittsburgh are going to be thereabouts again. They always are. So I have no problem plugging Fields in and on the bench. Hubbard,
Yeah, the
I
problem
couldn't be
is
more
that
colder on.
Miami, this quarterback's bye week is week 6. So he's not got time for Fields to probably
Yeah,
get in the field
but
before then. So
the
later
thing
on,
is, but you can just go and pick someone up from agency for that week. You're not putting Fields on your bench to cover a bye week. You're putting Fields on your bench because you hope he comes in at the back end of the season and does. Let's not forget the points that Fields scored in fantasy weeks last week. I
Oh
think
yeah.
it's. I think there's no pro. Fields, if he gets in, he will score fantasy points. So I've no problem plugging him on the bench, and I
well,
do like this.
he
I
will get
do
in.
like Martin's team to a certain extent, and he's given himself lots of options because he's got no IDPs. Keep coming down a bit, Johnny. Let me see the bottom of it. Let me see the finishing. How he finished it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Goodwin. Obviously, you know that. I can't. I've never have been. Even when he was doing well, I wasn't a fan. So yeah, I've got no problem. No problem with that. But you're going to have the defenders. There's plenty of them, so you pick up a couple of defenders before the season starts. I've no problem there either.
Yeah,
So
you
yeah,
can do
that's not.
matchups for that one. So,
hmm So I don't hate. I'm not a fan of Tour, so that puts me off there. But and then
4 defenders on the other team: Baker
and I
Mayfield,
do like.
Mattison, Gibson, Pierce. Pierce will do
I
Rooney.
don't. I think Mayfield on the bench is a waste of a bench spot, because I'm sorry, but Mayfield will sit in the agency and you can pick him up from agency if he's not on your bench. And again, it's a spot you can have, and you've got Hudson and start lineup. So you're not putting Mayfield in at all. You're never putting Mayfield in over Hurts. Never.
Well, he'll
Bye
play
week,
week
that's
5,
that.
but that'll probably be it. So yeah,
But you
you
can
might
pick
dump
him
him
up
after
out of
week 5.
agency for week 5. So yeah,
You
I
never
like
know.
Gibson. I'm not Madison. I'm totally cold on Madison this year. Pierce will be okay, I guess. So yeah, the team on the right's it's a nice spread as well. In terms of got a couple of
He's
running
got
backs here.
four
Got a couple of.
defensive players. So
I've not got a problem with that. I don't have a problem
you
with
did
leaving
last
having
year.
defensive. I know that there are plenty in agency, but you've got 2 slots that you've got to fill there. So you want one or two sitting on your bench that you can maybe choose between, just in case one of your guys isn't having a good week.
True.
I know who
Miles
I'm
Garrett will
picking
be a
in
good
this.
one.
I know who I'm picking in this division anyway, because obviously I was in this draft, so and I know what kind of how they look ish. So
Cool.
next up,
So we've got the Lee Vikings against the Chicago Scorpions. So you've got Dak Prescott, Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, CeeDee Lamb, Marvin Harrison, Michael Pittman, Brock Bowers, TJ Hawkinson, Cole Kmet, Jake Moody, Micah Parsons, Nick Bosa. And then you've got Joe Burrow, McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Nico Collins, Deebo
Wow.
Samuels, Deontay Johnson, Kyle Pitts, Raheem Mostert, Brian Thomas, Cammy Fairbairn, Alex Singleton, and Quincy Williams. So I like you.
See,
Yeah.
see, that's the problem when you go like CMC and JT. I guess I'm assuming 1 and 2. You don't
I
get
mean,
one of those big wide receivers to complement that.
yeah. And that's the thing. It's if you do take your running back, then you are having to kind of look at the other side. And if you look at the other side of this one, it's the exact opposite, where it's Lamb and Harrison. They're obviously
Hmm
1 and 2.
And Pittman, and then
So
Pittman.
and then Pittman, so it's running back that's
We
kind of
do have that as
suffering
one,
there, and
two,
you've got
three.
Najee Harris plugged into the starting lineup, which is, I like Naj, but let's face it, he's not exactly knocked it out of the park, has he? So
I don't know.
Yeah, he started
I'm
off
telling you, he
CeeDee
Arthur
Lamb,
Smith
Harrison, Pittman,
offense.
and Prescott. So
They got a different offensive coordinator, so it's going to be a whole nother ball game. We're going to see rookie season Najee Harris this year.
I hope so. I really, really hope so. And
so
I'm a
do I.
big
I've got him
fan.
in a few
So
dynasties. So
I'm a big fan. And Prescott, I like Prescott in at quarterback. He is a point scoring machine when he's on it, and they will have their weeks where he's on it. He done really well for me in the home league last year, surprisingly well, I thought, because I actually traded for him because my quarterback went down. I can't remember who it was now, but I traded Graham for him, and he done me really proud, to be fair. But yeah, Lamb and Harrison. I'm cold on Lamb, but only because of the situation more than anything else. And Hawkinson, I'm quite cold on because of the situation. But I'm loving Bowers now. I'm loving Bowers, and there's certainly plenty of options there at tight end. That Hawkinson is one just to park on the bench and see that. And if he does come, he could be good for the playoffs if you're in them.
So look at the
What are the
benches.
benches here then, Johnny?
Oh, 3 quarterbacks, McCarthy and Cousins.
Ding, 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 ding. Problem.
Oh, four quarterbacks. I never noticed Will
I'm
Levis
saying.
and Kendry
Hey,
Miller.
four,
Oh, for God's sake.
four quarterbacks in Quentin Miller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you two discuss that while I quickly run to the loo because I'm busting. But you two, please have a discussion on four quarterbacks in a fantasy
Oh,
team.
fuck.
You
Oh,
can drop McCarthy, you can drop Levis, you can drop Miller.
yeah. He's also got Heinz Allen, defensive end, Will Anderson.
I would keep the linebacker. That's that I mean because they're gonna get points.
Yeah. And obviously, it's the second year. He's going to get more. He was good last year.
Yeah,
He's only going to get better. On the other side, you've got Rogers, Loeb,
Gus
Gustavus,
Edwards.
Demarcus Robinson, Curtis Samuel. I do like Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel.
Ontavian Wicks, Greg Dulcich.
And what no one mentions is like with Curtis Samuel. He played with that offensive coordinator when he was in Carolina.
Yeah.
So
I like
he's
Curtis Samuel. I always have. Again, you'll
yeah.
pop up. You'll get more of a chance now because you're not playing behind Dotson and Scary Terry. So,
Yeah.
Sorry about that, gents. I'm back now. That's the problem with playing 2.5 hours of badminton. I went about 6 litres of water through me and it just goes through me.
If it was super flex, I can see having those quarterbacks, but we're playing one quarterback here.
Yeah, so 4 quarterbacks, 2 defensive ends, Kendry Miller. Kendry Miller is basically the backup running back because he's only got.
He's very thin at
3
receiver too, right?
Was that?
He's very thin at wide receiver.
Well, yeah, he's got McCaffrey and Judy.
McCaffrey's
He's got
not.
three running backs. One of them's Kendry Miller. So it's a bit of a sore run lead.
He needs Lamb to be playing, that's for sure. He needs Lamb to not be sitting out too more.
That's probably what it was.
An unfavourable trade on someone. I mean, yes, absolutely, and I've seen people do it before, but no one's going to trade you for a quarterback because there's going to be quarterbacks in agency. So, and certainly no one's going to trade you for JJ McCarthy. No one's going to trade you for Will Levis.
Will Levis, yeah.
So these you've got guys in agency. So I get that in the sense of if it's a super flex or even if it's a dynasty, but this isn't either. So I think that's just a waste of a couple of bench spots for me. I mean, it might work out. It might work out great. I don't know, but
well, at some point, he's going to need a running back because he's only got 3, and one of them's Kendry Miller.
I'm very cold on that. So yeah, I see a long season ahead there. Right, next, Johnny. Let's have a look at the next one because
well, it's you and Doug. So you can talk us through your team. We'll go your team first, then, Craig.
Right. Well, do you know what? I'm actually really happy with my team this year. I've got to say, I hate to say it, I hate to put it out there, but I'm really happy with my team this year. I got pretty much what I wanted. So I started off Kyler Murray in quarterback, and I went early with him. You know me, Johnny. I don't go early in quarterback. I picked him up in the 7th round, but I picked him up in the 7th round because I didn't have an 8th round pick and I didn't have a 9th round pick, and I'm pretty sure he would have made it to the 10th. So I took the swing there on him. The big thing that I done that I wasn't happy with is I took Pacheco and Kelsey. And that's it. It's a very good offensively heavy on, so I'm not
live
going
on
to.
YouTube as well.
But I have Cook, Jefferson, Chase, and Ridley. Jefferson, Chase, and Ridley is my top 3 receivers. I'm really happy with Kelsey then coming in, Dubs coming in, and right, this is where my problem lies, and my problem lies here because I gave up my 8th and 9th. That my second flex spot is always it's going to be interchangeable week on week, I'm sure. Carlson I picked up in the last round, and do you know I didn't? We went into round 17, and I didn't have a defender, and I've ended up with Walker, Al Shahir, and Edwards, and I'm very happy with those three from going in without having one into the 17th round. And then if you come down to my bench as well, Johnny, I'm quite happy with my bench.
AK,
I think Dobbins,
Dylan.
as long as he's fit, Dylan's going to get touches. And I picked up Dowdle and Algier to give myself options at the running back slot,
Oh, you got Wilson as
And
well.
Isaiah.
I took Wilson to pair him with, to stack him with Murray, and I think Wilson will be fine. I've got Polk in there just because, he's rookie, but he could be the number one wide receiver in New England this year. So I picked him up, and then I took Okononko
Okonkwo.
because I needed another tight end for cover for Kelsey, and I wish I had a better second tight end than that. That's my biggest issue there. That I wish I had a better second tight end, but I'm really happy with my team. I think any one of those players I can plug in and will score me points any given week. So I'm really happy with it. And
Yeah, and then the
Doug's
Doug.
team,
Ooh,
Doug being
top big
Doug
Niners.
has
Rock
has went
Purdy,
on just
Rasheed.
fine.
Got White, Stevenson, Amon St. Brown, Drake London, Jalen Waddle, Njoku, Cup, Kirk, Gay, Bolton, and Bates. Yeah, did Doug not get like 3 quite decent rounds in second, third, and fourth off?
Yes, he got a very good trade. And if you look
Who
on
was
his
it with
bench as
again?
well, now he did pick up. I'm not sure why he's picked up Lawrence with Purdy because that's just giving him a headache as well. But at least that is one that is you'll interchange those quarterbacks. You've not got an absolute stonewall. I have to start him quarterback, so I get having the two to give yourself the option. And then he's got his usual he's got his usual Warren. Chris Brown has got every
And
chance with
Spears.
Tajay Spears. His big number twos are Warren and Spears. That's where Doug's going this year. He's gone for Warren, he's gone for Spears for his benches. Whereas my two are mine are kind of Dowdle and Algier. And, I'm getting Dylan really late, so I'm happy to pick him up. But this is what Doug is doing. This is a Doug team. And he's picking up, I don't get him picking up Thielen, but it's a very good team. I'm not a fan of Conklin either, so. But I think Doug's done just fine there as well. I really do. I don't think Thielen's his starting lineup's very good, and he has options on his bench if you take Thielen out of the equation.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
it's a good
if
team.
if Aaron Rodgers is healthy, I can see Conklin having a decent season like he did the year before. Not last year, but the year before he had a decent season.
I mean, Rodgers
I'm
does
hoping
kind of
so.
like
I
a
think
tight
I've
end
got
as
him.
well, so it very much could be. It just he's a bit like Fryermuth for me. That I used to like him, and he's let me down so often that I'm just not in. I just don't anymore.
Cool. Then we'll go on to the Darlington Rams, Sam and Nair Knights. Is that Joe? Yeah,
Uh,
Joe.
yeah, we want to be
So,
playing Sam week 5.
what's that?
Because he's got a lot of bye weeks in week 5.
All right. Oh, yeah. So I think Doug plays him, I think, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, that was
So we've
that
got
was who it was. Yeah,
CJ Stroud, Jameer Gibbs, Saquon Barkley, Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, Khalil Shakir, Trey McBride, Pat Fryermuth, Jameson Williams, Justin Tucker, Lucon, who's pulled a hammy, so he's not training at the moment, Zaire
won't be
Franklin,
fine for the start
and
of the season.
on near nights you've got Patrick Mahomes,
That was an auto pick.
Montgomery. That was definitely an auto pick, that one,
That
because
was the auto pick.
it was,
106.
and it was also there was another one as well who was ill. So yeah, I knew Mahomes. So yeah, the 106 Mahomes. Yeah, 'cause you had to wait a long time for that one. Montgomery, Swift, Nakua, Smith, Flowers, Kittle, Elliott, Blake Corum, Jake Elliott, TJ Watt, and Bobby Oriki.
Right, well, I'm pretty sure Joe doesn't watch this, so I can I can be as critical as I so desire. But I mean, he was unlucky, obviously picking up Mahomes 106. That's kind of harsh, and it's hard to come back from that when you get an auto pick of someone in the first round like that. Whereby yes, he's a great player, yes, he's going to score you well, but you're not going to be picking him up in round one. So that's kind of hurt him there. So then you've got Montgomery and Swift as your running backs. I mean, that's kind of problem for the. I
So
see that as a problem. Puka, I'd seen nothing but regression this year. And if you're massive on Cooper Cup, you cannot also be massive on Puka this year. And I'm massive on
well,
Cooper
he,
Cup
he
this year.
took Puka
So
in the second round. So Puka was his
yeah,
first actual pick.
actual pick. But I mean, for me, Puka, I mean, he could have half the season that he had last year and still score you quite well. Still score you good. But for a second round pick, I'm looking for him to be a top 10 wide receiver this year. And I just don't see Puka Nakua being a top 10 wide receiver this year. I just cannot see it.
There's that many
I see
players that are going to
nothing
be
but
top 10
regression.
receivers. Somebody's going to miss out. But yeah, I
You
do
know,
like
that's
Sam's
that. It
team
can't
though.
all be. Yeah, Sam's team started very well there. As I say, he's got a couple. There's a couple of weeks that he's got a lot of bye weeks. It's week
Oh,
5, I think maybe week 8 or week 10 or something like that. But he's got a couple of weeks that he's got bye issues. But yeah, I mean, I think he's picked very well, and he was picking from late on the first round as well. So it has came, obviously Fryer with I'm not the biggest fan of, but I love McBride. I'm pretty sure he took him quite early as well because I was wanting him and he went too early for me. But yeah, I mean, having Blake Corum in your starting lineup as well, that's a problem
that is a problem.
for Joe.
Where did he go?
And let's see the benches, Johnny.
311 he took McBride. So third round.
Yeah, I thought he'd went early with
So
him because I
Sam's
was
got
kind of
Stafford,
looking at
Davis, Tracy, Chubb when he comes back to be good. Douglas,
Pop.
Henry, Carty, and Owusu Karamoa.
I don't get the point of having a kicker on your bench. I mean, there's 12 teams. There's 32
That's
NFL teams and there's 12 in the fantasy league. Why the fuck would you have a kicker on your bench? Anyway,
and on the other side you've
I
got
don't
Caleb
really like
Williams.
either bench, other than Caleb Williams being on the bench. I really don't
Oh,
like.
there. Reece Sammett's been picked again. I wonder if that was a last round
yeah,
pick.
I don't get picking him either. I really don't. It's so yeah. I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with either of these teams. I've got to say they're both pretty, okay. They're both fine. They're both decent. See, I don't
They
see the point of having a
definitely
kicker on the bench.
a trade or two, a trade or two. The two of the right trades will improve them a lot. They can
Yeah,
pull up some good trades. Yeah,
you're
There's
going to
going to be
need to
some
fill.
close games in this week, though. That's one thing. So
And then
we'll
we've
go on with
got
the
hot shots.
the, the best the best team name, the Skelmer Steel Hot Dogs against the New Barstow Mashers. So you've got for the hot dogs, you've got Anthony Richardson, Bijan Robinson, Samir White, Brandon Ayuk, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Sam Laporta, Terry McLaurin, Devin Singletary, Harrison Butker, Ernest Jones, and Jordan Brooks. And then New Barstow Masters, you've got Jordan Love, Derek Henry, James Conner, Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans, Mark Andrews, Tyler Lockett, Zach Moss, Youngwei Koo, Tremaine Edwards, and Terrell Bernard.
So again, it's both these
Pretty
teams
even.
are the team on the right here's starters all the kind of way, even down to the last one being the last flex being Zach Moss. But if you look at the receivers on the left hand side here,
I was about to say the same thing. Yep,
oh, hold
Hill,
on,
Wilson, and Evans. Yeah,
I am cold on Ayuk, I am cold on Diggs, and I am cold on Allen. So how can I be big on that? I can't be big on that team when it's got three receivers that I wouldn't be anywhere near this year. So that kind of puts me off
I'm gonna
a
tell you
little
what it
bit.
is. I mean, I'm gonna tell you what's good about Diggs and Allen that they always start off great. They finish horribly. Allen will get hurt, miss a couple of games, but he'll start the season off good till Adunze, gets up to speed. Uh,
I mean, yes, absolutely. But surely you're looking at the back end of the season and not the start of the
Eh,
season. It doesn't
Right.
matter if you start 6-0 if you lose the first round of the playoffs. You could run through
Yeah.
the season 14-0, and if you lose week one in the playoffs, it doesn't matter. So when you've got the likes of
Exactly.
Allen, who's maybe dying off at the end, Diggs, who's maybe getting less and less because Dell's taking on, Dell and Collins are taking over a bit more, and yeah, for me, and I love Richardson at quarterback. I think he's a fantasy cheat code if he stays fit
Well, he's
because
got
he's able to
Jared
run,
Goff. Jared
run,
Goff as backup, so at least he's got a backup if he gets injured. But the
and
new
that's
Marshall
a
Masters
good.
don't have a quarterback, so
It's a good backup quarterback. It's good to have a backup when you've got someone who you're worried about maybe getting injury and stuff like that.
uh,
And
you've
then on
also
the
got.
benches, I mean, where are you with Tank Bigsby this year? Is he going to do anything this year? He was well talked
Oh
about
God,
last year, and then he
no,
was utter
No, not at
garbage.
all. Not at all.
no.
I'm not seeing it either, and I did pick him up quite a few times last year. I was so disappointed in him last year, so it puts
Well,
me
that
right
was all
off
the
him
hype last year.
completely.
He's going to get loads of touches because they're going to let Etienne have a bit of a break, and he carried the ball as many times. Attack Bixby more times going backwards than going forwards. So nearly as much as
Take me
Marvin
down a
Mims.
little bit, Johnny. Take me down a wee bit further, will you? So on the right hand side here. Oh no, there's a
Well,
couple
he has
more
got a
there. There's
second
Wendell
quarterback.
Robinson and Davis as well. But
He's
yeah,
got
I
Watson.
mean, he's got Deshaun Watson, which I'm just not a fan of at all. Mike Williams and Brandon Cooks on the left. There's two good players to be having sitting on your bench. I mean, Bateman, if he comes good, but it's a big if, innit? So yeah, I mean, nothing majorly wrong with any of these teams, but I'm not a fan of the
Got
wide
Florida
receivers on the
dog.
left, really. The starting ones especially. And on the right, they have got a major running back issue, have they not? Because
Well,
they've
they've
got
got Jerome
Ford on the
Ford down the
bench there.
bottom, so he'll be starting. So
Yeah, but if you take us up to the actual starting two, it's Montgomery and Swift in it, and Lloyd's injured, so that's a problem.
no, you've
Oh
got
no, it's
Henry
not.
and
It's
Connor
Henry Connor. Sorry, Henry and Connor. So yeah, no, that is
and
actually
Moss.
two good starting running backs. And
Yeah.
Zach
And
Moss
I,
there
Well,
I
as
would
well.
Zach
So
I
Moss
yeah,
is
would
no,
hurt.
start um I'd start Ford over Moss.
You might
yeah,
still do
yeah.
that.
Week
Ken. It's,
week one, you
this
will
this
be
league is
now.
just finished, so nobody's
I'm sure
actually
he
set
will.
their teams because it only finished about 20 minutes ago. So
So
Oh,
that's
gotcha,
that's
gotcha.
us, that's us looked at all the teams in here. Who you picking, Johnny?
I hate to say it, but I'm going for the top head Niners.
What about you, Everett?
You're close. You're a close second, but I've got to go with Doug.
So without being biased and picking my brother Craig, top head Niners would be my was my other choice.
We know Craig will be picking
So
himself because
not
he did
not
last
taking
year.
your boy Craig, you're going with your boy Craig's biggest enemy.
Yeah, and week one's gonna tell the week one's gonna predict
No,
how the season
no,
goes.
that's Everett. That's not the week one fixture. I've got to change the fixture. They play a week
Oh, I got to pick somebody
week
else.
before Christmas.
No,
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 no, no, no.
no.
You picked the right one. It's just that won't be week one game.
They're playing each other in week 8. I've
I
not
know.
changed the
Oh,
fixtures
week
yet.
8. I thought that was the week one that we were looking at right there.
No, they just automatically do that, but that's not the fixtures. I'll be changing them
Oh,
tomorrow
gotcha,
morning.
gotcha, gotcha,
So,
gotcha, gotcha. But yeah,
Right,
without
Johnny.
picking Craig, it'd be
I'm,
the top head Niners.
well, top head
I,
Niners have got the bye week when they play Sam with all the bye players, so that's the reason. So he gets a win, yeah.
I'm
But
taking my
it'd be
team.
very close with it'd be very close between you and Doug.
I
That's
love
what I'll
my
be
team
saying
this
this year.
year. I really do. And you know I'm honest about it, Johnny. And if I've had a bad draft, I'll say I've had a bad draft. But I'm really happy with the draft that I've had here, and I really do like my team. So I've got to put confidence in my own team because if I don't, when I've been happy with the draft, then what are you going to do?
I've already put your name down for it anyway for yourself, but like I say, it's very close between you and Doug. Sorry, Martin.